You better grab that tambourine, bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene, make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it, that's my to-do-la, to-do-la. Ooh, I love it, crank it up.
What's up, guys? First day back from Amsterdam and from the Netherlands, and I didn't work out a single day while I was overseas. So we're gonna be hitting a really good shoulder workout today, and we're gonna start it off with a little bit of a warm-up. Now what I'm gonna be doing is just some rotator work with a band. So find yourself any kind of resistance band, or grab the lightest dumbbells that you can, 5 pounds, 2.5, whatever you can, just something that had a little bit of resistance or weight, and we're just gonna slowly warm up our rotator cuffs. Find something that's not going to be moved, that's not going to move, fairly stationary, loop your band through it, and then I just do some face pulls. So from here, nice and slow, focus on squeezing your shoulder blades, warming up those shoulders, rotator cuffs, and we're just going to do about 8 to 10, and then move on to the next movement. For the next one, what we're going to be doing, keep your elbows parallel to the floor, and we're just going to be bringing our hands up. So just rolling those rotator cuffs, warming everything up. Make sure that whatever weight or resistance you're using is not too heavy. Again, we're not trying to work the muscle, we're just trying to get blood flowing, get the joints moving, get everything ready to go. So the next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the side, one arm at a time. Just come in to out. So start hand across my chest. Again, my forearm is going to be parallel to the floor. I'm just going from in, rotate out as much as I can, and then back in. Again, this is going to warm up that rotator cuff. Helps prevent injury, helps prep the muscle, and preps the joint for a good workout. Switch to the other side. Same thing. And then the next, we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to start out and come in. Nice and easy. Focus on slow, controlled moves. Both sides. Next, we're going to turn around. And from here, what I like to do is just some dynamic stretching with the resistance band. So I'll just kind of bring my arms out, up, and then all the way back down. Really focus on just kind of rolling your shoulders, loosening them up. So that's just a nice kind of pretty quick, simple warm-up. All right, our first movement is going to be a single arm standing overhead press. So we're going to grab whatever moderate weight we can use to warm up with, because we're going to be doing about 2 warm-up sets, about 8 to 10 reps, just nice, loose, keeping things going, keeping the blood flowing, keeping the muscles moving. So just starting out light, one arm at a time. So up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, With this, again, really focusing on controlling the weight. So don't just throw it up and let it drop. Control it the entire range of motion. Good. Second warm-up set, jumping up about 10 pounds.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby.
All right, warm-ups are finished. Next set is gonna be our first working set. Now with this set, we're gonna be focusing on controlling the weight, and we're gonna be going up a little heavier, and we wanna be failing at around like 12 reps. So the goal is 8 to 10, but if we can get about 2 more, then that's good. Now something else you'll notice with this is I'm only using one dumbbell at a time. This is so that I can help brace myself, brace my core during the movement.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. I live it. That's my too loud, too loud. I love it. Crank it up. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, you got this. You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. I live it. That's my too loud, too loud. I love it.
All right, that's all 4 sets done. On to the next exercise. Something to note with your shoulders in particular is that there are 3 heads to the shoulder. There's the front delt, side delt with lateral head, and then there's the rear delt. Now, personally, I prefer to prioritize whatever muscle group or whatever head of the delt that I'm either lacking in or that I want to build more than the other heads. So for me, that's mainly my lateral head of my delt, and the reason for that is I personally want to try and build more width, so I want my shoulders to be as wide as possible, which is generally what a lot of competitions tend to look at first, is your V-taper, so how wide you are in your shoulders and how narrow you are in your waist. And for me, I personally have a fairly thick waist, so if I can get my shoulders a lot wider, it'll give that appearance of a lot thinner and smaller waist. So it gives you what they call the V-taper. So from your shoulders down to your waist, basically creates a V. And that's the ideal look that you want when you're stepping on stage. So for me, I tend to prioritize my lateral heads early on in my workout when I have the most strength. And then I'll move on to my rear delts, which again, a lot of people tend to lack their rear delts because they just can't see them, so they get neglected. And then normally I'll finish off with my front. A lot of people tend to have overdeveloped front delts, and the reason for that is during pushing movements such as bench press, incline bench press, things like that, you tend to use more of that front delt. Especially if your form isn't on point, you're gonna recruit a lot more front delt than you are necessarily even your chest. So that's one reason I tend to shy away from doing a lot of front delt, is because I'm getting that muscle group worked during other movements as well. So the next exercise is going to be dumbbell lateral raises. Now what we're going to be doing is a little bit different from what most people are probably used to, and it's something that I like to call a descending set. So we're going to start off with a fairly light weight. So for me, I'm just going to use like 15-pound dumbbells. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one side at a time, but while we're working the one arm, the other arm is going to be held at the peak of the peak contraction of the movement. So basically, you're going to be doing a static hold with one arm while you're repping out the other. And the reason I call them a descending set is because we're going to alternate and we're going to descend from 5 reps on one side down to 4 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps, 1 rep, and then we're going to finish off with 3 to 5 partial reps, or just forced negatives, basically. So here's how they look, and this is what I'm actually talking about. So first movement, get both arms up. Now pause, and then you're gonna start with one side for 5 reps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pause. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pause. Switch sides. 4 reps this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and switch. 3 reps. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 reps. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 rep. 1, 1. 5 partials. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's a descending set. So we're really focusing on squeezing at the top, holding that contraction, and working one arm at a time, and then switching. And I guarantee you start out light, because by the time you get to that last rep, and then those 5 partials, you're gonna be burning. So that's first set done. We got 2 more of those. Let's go.
Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene, make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level.
Now, a big key to all of these movements is to keep the rest period as low as possible to help keep our intensity as high as possible. So for me, when I'm going a little heavier, I tend to keep my rest between 60 to 90 seconds. So a minute to a minute and a half. Whereas if I'm going lighter, something like this, I'm gonna be keeping my rest periods around 30 to 45 seconds. That way I keep my heart rate up and I keep my blood pumping as much as possible between sets. Next exercise, wide grip rows with a slight lean. So we're gonna be targeting our rear delts primarily, and then a little bit of the lateral delt. 4 total sets, 12 to 15 reps. Slow on the negatives.
True to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this.
Next exercise is going to be bent over rear delt flies. So with this, you can either do them seated, or personally I prefer to just throw my belt on, stand up, bend over, because I feel like I can get a tighter contraction at the peak and a little bit stronger range of motion. Also, once I start fatiguing towards the last few reps, I can cheat just a little bit and kind of get those extra reps in there to help increase the intensity and push past failure. So for this, 4 sets, going to be focusing on about 12 to 15 reps, plus about 3 to 5 partials afterwards. So really focusing on that.
Turn it up, we got this.
Last set, I'm going to demonstrate this movement on a bench versus standing. So with this, grab a bench, come as far to the end as you possibly can. Keep your feet out in front of you so that you can brace yourself, either together or apart. I prefer to keep them together so that I have a little wider range of motion. And then what we're going gonna do is the dumbbells are gonna come under your legs, and from there it's exactly the same movement. So from here, out. So something else you'll notice is during all of these movements, I'm keeping my chin tucked and my spine and my neck in a neutral position. I'm not looking up and watching myself in the mirror. If you really have to on your first couple of reps, just to make sure your form is right, that's fine. But the more you look up, the more you're gonna put your shoulders and your neck at risk of injury. So keeping your spine and your neck in as neutral a position as possible is gonna really help prevent injury. And it also helps increase your range of motion and increase how much tension and how much of a contraction you can get on those rear delts. So that movement's finished. We'll move on to the next exercise. The next movement is going to be a cable rope front raise. So we're gonna go to a cable machine, take it to the bottom of the rack as low as we can go, throw a rope on there, and we're gonna be pulling it up to the front. Now with this, we're gonna be really targeting our front delts, and we're also gonna be doing about 10 to 12 reps, plus about 3 static holds after that. So on the static holds, we're gonna be holding it at the peak contraction for about 2 to 3 seconds. So that's gonna be our final shoulder exercise. We're gonna finish off with some rope work. So after that, we're gonna be doing some rope work. So we're gonna be using a battle rope, doing some rope slams, and really just trying to burn off and finish out the shoulders, finish off the arms, and just keep the intensity going into the final exercise. That's gonna finish off this workout, but it's not gonna finish off what I'm doing for today. So if you just wanna do shoulders, that's where you're gonna end. But if you wanna keep going and follow everything that I'm doing today, we're gonna be hitting some chest after that. Then I'm also gonna be hitting some calves because I'm trying to hit calves about 2 to 3 times a week minimum, just because I'm trying to get them to grow as much as possible. So let's go. Last movement for shoulders, we're gonna do some battle slant or some battle ropes. With this, I'm gonna set a timer on my phone, go for 15 seconds where I'm doing alternating, and then I'm gonna do 15 seconds where I'm slamming both together. So with this, we're really gonna be focusing on keeping the intensity as high as possible through all 30 total seconds. Then we're gonna rest for about 30 to 60 seconds between sets and do ideally 3 to 4 sets, whatever you can handle. Main goal, keep our heart rate up, keep our heart rate elevated, and just keep pushing extra blood into those shoulders.
If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true to love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this.
So for most beginner to intermediate lifters, I would recommend only doing the first portion of this workout, which is just the shoulder movements. Now, for more advanced lifters, we're gonna be moving into some chest movements, and the first thing we're going to be doing is an incline dumbbell bench press superset with an incline dumbbell fly. So with this, we're gonna be doing only 3 sets. For the bench, we're gonna be doing 8 to 10 reps, and then we're gonna drop those weights and immediately go into an incline dumbbell fly, and for that, we're gonna be focusing 12 to 15 reps. Total of 3 sets.
We may be forced to cause a scene, make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true to love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby.
Alright, last movement for chest, we're going to be doing wiper push-ups. With this, we're going to be going nice and slow, side to side. You've seen a demo of them before in one of my previous videos, but really focus on this movement to just control movement. A lot of people tend to try and go too fast and they end up hurting themselves. So just slow it down, really focus on the contraction, control yourself. We're going to be doing 3 sets of about 8 to 10 reps.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it.
Alright, last movement we're going to be doing is for triceps, and we're going to be doing a tricep giant set. So what that means is you're going to be doing 3 different exercises back to back to back. And with that, we're going to be doing 3 total sets with about a 30 to 60 second rest between. So first movement is going to be an underhand cable extension. Second, we're going to take that grip, reverse it, so we're overhand cable extension. And then the third movement, we're going to turn around and we're doing on the cable, same thing, overhead extension. So 3 different tricep movements. All 3 movements we're going to be doing 10 to 12 reps, no rest between movements.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my toot-toot-la, toot-toot-la. Ooh, I love it.
Hope you guys enjoyed the workout. Let me know down below in the comments if you give it a try, what you think. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next workout.
You better grab that tambourine. We may be forced to cause a
Hello, babies. Hello. Oh, you're good boy. Oh, you're good boy.